Listen to your Puerto Rican Princess SashilyK for all things K-pop and K-drama and what's new and happening all around Oahu. Tune into my show From One Native to Another, Tuesday nights at 8 on KPRP Pinoy Power, 650 AM. Greetings and salutations. It is Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, and I am your SashilyK. Oh, that was Sunny! That was Sunny! You see, this is why we always have to turn everything off when we're in the studio, because we have lovely little accidents like that, but it's okay because I am here. This is SashilyK, your Puerto Rican Princess on KPRP 650 Pinoy Power. That's right. And today we have, and I gotta show. Look, I'm moving the camera. Look, I've got my Banana Manna film, guys. That's right. That's Jason Chan and Christian Lee. Say hi, guys.
Hi, Sashily.
Aloha, Hawaii.
Aloha.
SashilyK.
You like my intro?
Love your intro.
So you guys have been, I've been talking to my audience here about you guys for a lot, especially with Perfect Girl, because that's the first introduction to the people here of Honolulu, Hawaii, about Banana Manna Films. I'm very excited because you guys are doing a lot of exciting things. But let's step back in our time machine. Let's start at the beginning because it's always good, you know. Unless it's a movie, then we can just jump around. So Jason and Christian, you guys started together you created Banana Manna Films. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, just a quick background on Jason and myself. We're a couple of actors. Jason studied in NIDA in Australia. It's one of the top drama schools. Like all the top Australian actors working in Hollywood went there. And then myself, I'm actually from the mainland, from California. My mom's side's from Hawaii, from Oahu. And then I trained in New York. And then we both ended up in Singapore doing a lot of stage, television, and film. And when we realized...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sasha. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking because you know, Jason went to NIDA and you went to was it Meisner?
Yeah, that's right. It's a Meisner-based acting program from it was called the William Esper Studio, and I studied with Bill himself, so the founding acting instructor. He studied with Sanford Meisner. I mean, if you want to know all that stuff.
Well, yeah, I love improv, and I love, you know, I've always taken all sorts of different like classes and things like that. So the fact when I was reading up on you guys, I was like, okay, so these are like actors. These are not actors. These are actors.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd have to say we were working actors. I mean, Jason got a really, really good gig out of school. He did Disney Playhouse, and then he got the big role, which was as the Green Power Ranger through the Ninja Storm season, and a great opportunity to be an actual role model, an Asian role model for kids of all races. But, you know, it lasted one season, then you got to go, okay, next gig. As actors, you're gigging from gig to gig.
Which is kind of funny because your very first web series, which are shorts, What Men Want, is about two out-of-work actors and their craziness that goes through everything. I mean, when I was watching them...
Oh, did you get to watch it?
Yes. It was like I Love Lucy and like The Odd Couple, like intermarried, you know. And I mean, they've got things like potty humor, and they've got like relationship stuff. And when I love it, I forgot which one it was. I checked it on Wikipedia. That's how you go to the bathroom, and then like 3 seconds later, that's what you see the other character doing. It was incredible. It was so much fun to watch, and even in the humor, there was pain in there, and there was, you know, great storyline, and the almost at the very end of the very first episode, Bob, which was Christian, and Jimmy was Jason. Bob, because Jimmy was breaking up with his girlfriend, and Bob's like, "So, what happened? What did she say?" And Jimmy's like, "Well, actually, I don't know what she said." Because they didn't speak the same language. So it was incredible storytelling. I'm sure that was very busy because you guys were directing, written, producing, editing in it yourselves. I mean, but so satisfying. I mean, it really was. For your very first project, it was so nice. So nice.
Thank you so much, Sashi. I mean, just
very tough. Yeah. Go ahead.
Joined it together from where we came from, talking about actors trying to gig from gig to gig. You don't always get the best roles, as you know. There's a lot of controversy with whitewashing in Hollywood, etc. So we felt the best way to empower ourselves was to learn how to create our own dramas and then to act in them, and eventually to hire other Asian actors to act in them. So that's how we founded the company. I mean, Banana Man, everyone knows, at least in Asia, banana is considered, Asian on the outside, white on the inside. But what's interesting is it's the voice that we have. Why we chose to do scripted Asian dramas in English is because our voice and our first language is English.
Right.
And that's why we're huge fans of yours, because you're so supportive of our mission statement, which is just to create Asian stories and get Asian faces in a language that we feel is very international and can travel.
Very much so. I mean, if you look at, K-pop, they always interlace some sort of either the chorus is in English or there's a couple of lines in English, something that opens up their music to a bigger audience. And that's exactly what you guys are trying to do. And I commend you for that. I mean, my family looks at me like I'm crazy when I tell them, have you watched the latest Korean drama? And they're going, you're watching what? Yeah. So, what you guys are doing would definitely bridge over that love that I have of Korean dramas. I mean, your stories are I don't know, maybe it's Meisner in the background, but your stories are very universal. They're very, when I was watching even from the very first What Men Want to Perfect Girl, I was like, I've been in that situation. I've thought that. I've let that one get away. I've had the bad boyfriend and my friends telling me, why are you still with him? I've been there. I've been those characters. So it touches me, and I know that it's going to touch so many more.
Thank you so much. It's really interesting because we did have so many people write to us too after What Men Want from Singapore and regionally saying the same sorts of things, and we really wanted to establish that not only as actors but as writers and people creating product out there. Hopefully, and actually we found that when we started putting the auditions out for this next project, the Okinawan feature film, which I'm sure we'll get to, we found all these actors from around the world writing in, and some of them, when we had to ring them and say, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't give you this part, but you're a very good actress and we'd love to work with you in future. I mean, they really got upset, and in a good way, saying that they really can't wait to see this movie because they love the storyline and they love that it's a sophisticated, realistic story and has elements that they're very interested that are unique, to Okinawa and all this sort of thing. We're trying to write and produce the things that we wanted to act in, way back when we were actors, and we hope that other actors, particularly Asian actors for now, but we'd like to open it up, but particularly Asian actors who don't get that opportunity to get these, good, realistic, strong, sophisticated roles. And more than that, I think where we take a kind of leaf out of the Korean book is we want to create stories that really resonate with everyone. And why shouldn't they? Everything's universal. You just have to be, I think, very specific, actually, to your life to become universal, I think. Whereas I think a lot of people do the opposite, which is they try to stereotype to be universal, but actually the specifics are the ones that actually touch people, like the silly thing you do when you break up with someone or after you break up, the stupid thing that you do, that specificity, even across cultures, is something that I think other people will recognize as, oh, that's actually very universal.
I completely agree with that because, especially in writing, whether it's poetry, whether it's a short story, whether it's, a $20 million, MGM grand, movie pilot, if you're not that specific, it's those specificities that remind you of that person. Oh, that person used to jingle their keys when they got excited or happy. That one would tap their foot whenever they got nervous. Those little things. It's almost like putting memories to music. A specific piece of music is going to remind you of a situation or remind you of a person. And I think that's part of what you guys are doing, and that's part of what you guys are creating, because when I was watching when What Men Want, I'm going to remember where I was when the person was in the bathroom and I'm dying laughing. I'm going to remember, oh, I was in my room. It was in the afternoon. I was getting ready for the interview. For years and years to come, that's going to be something that, unfortunately or fortunately, however you want to look at it, will forever remind me of Christian Lee.
I'm so glad I touched you in that way.
In the funny bone, forever and ever. That's what I'm gonna remember, and I think those are the memories that you're gonna create. And I kind of want to touch back on that they were that the actors for the callbacks were upset about not being able to be part of this. That's so humongous because, like you said, these types of roles are not offered to Asians that speak English. They're not. They're always the secondary, if not the waiter, and never the leading man or the leading girl. So I love that what you guys are doing creates those opportunities, creates those. You guys write and create for the actors now and for the actors in the future, and I think that has a lot to do, like you said, because you guys are actors. Like I know Christian, I was reading up on you. You won an award for Outsiders.
Oh yeah, that was the Asian Rome Film Festival. Yeah, for that role. Uh-huh.
And I found a clip on YouTube.
Okay.
I found the clip.
Yeah.
So for mature audiences only.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kids, don't go look for this.
Those crazy Italians, what they're giving awards for,
But it reminded what I found it funny was that. Well, first it was dark. I mean, it was wonderfully dark, but it happened so many years before Dexter. That's what came to my head was Dexter, and when I was watching it, I was like, "This could have been Dexter," and why not? Because it was dark and humorless and exciting and violent, and it was everything that Dexter is today. And the fact that you won the award for it was just, I was like, okay, I see where we're going with this. Okay. So definitely, you guys direct for the actor. You guys write for the actor because you guys are actors.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it most definitely helps because it's a special skill set to work with actors and kind of know their process and how they tick. And we're lucky in that realm that we can understand where they're coming from. And I think what Jason pointed out, where we actually made a call to talk to all those actors that had callbacks for the roles where we felt their acting was really, really good. Producers don't do that. They just said, let's shoot an email. Sorry, you can't do that. But we know what it's like being actors, and we.
It's that personal touch. It's that personal touch that you guys know from the other side, from the rejections, from the lack of response, from the rudeness that this industry does embody at a lot of the times. But we're going to talk about this and a lot more with Banana Man of Films. Maybe we'll go into Perfect Girl, which is what I want to talk about right after we come back from our sponsors. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is SashilyK. Oh, that was the wrong button, but this is still SashilyK with your KPRP 650 AM. That's right here on From One Native to Another with Banana Manna Films. Please check us out on www.ustream/TV Pinoy Power Radio. And we were talking about Banana Manna Films and the very first project that they did, which was What Men Want. And then we are quickly going into Perfect Girl. Yes, Perfect Girl. So very exciting because it's on Viki. Like, yes. Anyone can watch it.
Anywhere in the world. And now it's been subtitled to Polish, I think, and what else?
And Japanese, fully subtitled in Japanese. We're not sure if the subs are completely up, but yeah, so.
Yeah, it's got like at least the last time I checked, it was like 5 or 6 different languages.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So that was. Okay, so you guys know that I've talked about Viki before. So Viki is it's an American kind of like Netflix, but all the subs are done by volunteers. So they have to love what they're watching to be willing to give up their time, and time is money. Time is money. So they're willing to give up their time because they love Perfect Girl.
Yeah. That's
amazing. And a lot of the content on there, yeah. But
I mean, it's exciting.
It's a great testing platform to just get your dramas out there, and the audience is very supportive. The community of Viki, and yes, they will. They love. I mean, it's an art form to subtitle. It's almost as if they're participating as storytellers. When you take the subtitles, you can really, make a moment it's all dependent on the subtitles. So they really cherish that work, and they have a community where they have a subtitler leader, and they'll proof check each other's work until they get the subs exactly what the authors intended.
Because it's funny, but because I speak both Spanish and English, so sometimes when I'm reading, sometimes a movie or a TV show, and they'll have a conversation in Spanish, and I'm listening to it, and I'm going, no, that's not what he said.
Yeah.
That kills a scene. It really does. So I'm glad that they have people that are, checking and whatnot. But if you guys want to know more about Perfect Girl, obviously go look at it on Viki. But it's also on my blog. What is it? My K-drama blog, Viki. Viki Perfect Girl. I keep thinking Viki Perfect Girl, but definitely go check it out. Please read it. Mr. Jason is the lead, and Christian is in it too. He's in there being all silly and funny, which I like.
Well, Jason actually wrote Perfect Girl, and we should let him talk about that process, because it's interesting. We just wanted to play in the web series, kind of the up and coming web series arena, where filmmakers were just empowering themselves by doing stuff and uploading it online. And I'll let Jason explain.
Which is how I found you guys.
Yes, that's right. At Miami Web Fest, I think, and. Then we were submitted to quite a few other web fests and got some awards across. It was interesting because we won some awards across the board for editing, writing, best drama, as well as for performances. And I guess it was a nice confluence of all the elements coming together really well. I mean, we wanted to just do something really sort of intimate with 2 people, and I thought at first when I started writing it that it'll be just 2 people in a room. And we're just trying to keep it like that. But as I sort of gave it over to the team, which was only 3 more people, they started dreaming, and that was a beautiful part of, a creative team where they said, oh, what if we actually did film it on a cliff, but we don't have cliffs in Singapore? Okay, what's an equivalent of a cliff, which is the last scene? What would be the equivalent for her? And, all these artistic things, magical moments came about because they started dreaming and said, no, let's not just shoot it in a room. Let's have another shot and another shot. And, like in the end, in Perfect Girl, which is only a 1-hour drama in the end, we had 1,200 shots, which is more than What Do Men Want? we only had about 800 setups in What to Men One, which is a 13 by half hour TV series. So you can imagine for Perfect Girl, we were going crazy. Sometimes, hiking for an hour to get that one shot. But suddenly it made that dream come alive, I think. I mean, I was just dreaming it up in a bedroom, but, we were really kind of annoyed with a commissioning producer at the time, and we said, we don't want to work for them anymore. Let's just write something and make something ourselves this year. So I said, well, nothing happens until you write something, so I'll lock myself in that room every day for 4 hours, and I'll just write. And every day I just came up with one episode, which is 5 minutes or so, and I'd just give it to the guys, and they'd read it. And then they go, oh, yeah, this is good. We can make this. Okay, good. I'll write another episode. I went in there, and day by day, we just came out, and I just sort of spewed it out. But really, it was a very intimate drama, hiking back to when I was in high school, and I did write letters to someone. And, nothing really came of it. But I thought, yeah, what if I fantasize a little bit, like we all do, and let's fantasize about what if I had met that person 10 years later, and I could do something. Yeah.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
That's what Perfect Girl is all about.
And like I was saying, we always have that one that got away, that one that we just, didn't have enough courage, chutzpah, whatever, then sometimes it's just walking across the mall. Sometimes it's somebody you've known forever. And I love you guys' humility. Because they're like, oh, Perfect Girl won a few awards, it's all good. No. Perfect Girl was nominated for 17 awards. And out of 17 awards, you won 7. That's amazing. That's I mean, the writing, the cinematography, the music. I mean, the part in the very beginning when she's doing that dreaming, going back into thinking about it was so intimate and so sensual and when you think about it, it's again, we've all done it. We've all done some version of that, thinking of that person that got away from us, that specificness of those letters connected the whole story all the way through to the end. It was loverly.
Thank you so
Can we
much.
hire you as our biz dev person? Because you're awesome, SashilyK, new biz dev.
Truly, you sum it up so nicely. Did we really make that?
Yeah, you guys really dreamt it up, and you guys have such a fantastic team that you guys can literally just meld each other into this humongous pot and just what works, how can we make it better, how can we make it just. Yeah, I mean, I'm a DJ at loss for words. Don't you love it?
That experience of Perfect Girl, I mean, we'll still look back at it as just the perfect situation for creating art. It was just our small team, and we didn't pressure ourselves we didn't have a deadline to meet for a commissioning producer. We just said, let's just have fun and do this and pace it out to where we have the flexibility and freedom to enjoy every part of the process, and it was beautiful. And I mean, we had fun. Bottom line, we had fun.
You can tell. I mean, when he was sitting down on the bed, and he just starts thinking, okay, let's think of this logically, because love is logic. Love is logic. I was giggling through this too, Let's think this logically. And then all of these like computer graphics, and by the way, who did that? All those, the computer things, and as he's talking, all this data is like going, and it was see-through, so you could still see the characters, emotions, and he was thinking, and he was pouting, and how do I fix this? And I can't let this opportunity get away from me, and at the very beginning when he was like, I'm lonely, no one loves me, he's like, well, I don't like you. You're not my type. Yeah. You're a little too, but no, I don't do guys. I was like, it was cleverly done, how that was communicated so well. so well.
Thank you so much. I mean,
Thank you.
we can't even think of half the things that you're coming up with. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And like well, first of all, it means so much to us that you watched it and then you communicated your love for it, and we found you and through social media, I think, and then you found us and put us on your radio show. But like everyone who's ever commented on our products, I think it just means so much to us, because at the moment, we're not doing this for money, because Perfect Girl was made on a measly budget of $1,000, and
you're like, haven't you watched what men want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it for the love of it.
Life imitates art, vice versa.
And we are really struggling to do it, but we're finding the people around the world, and one by one, who are coming up forward and saying, we like this stuff. Because the reality is, when we talk to people in the industry, and we're trying to get the distribution part kind of sealed up so that we can sustain this and create more great roles for everyone. But when we talk to people in the distribution industry, they go, oh no, no one wants to see Asians speaking English, believe it or not. We've heard that so many times, and even here in Asia, that we keep battling it, but we're starting to, I think, reach out to people like yourselves, for example. Other people on Viki are commenting, other people on YouTube. And then most recently, we were in Korea with a producer saying, I get this. Korean content in English, I get it.
And we're going to talk more about this after we come back from visiting our sponsors. Welcome back. This is SashilyK. That's right, your Puertorican Princess here on KPRP 650 AM Pinoy Power. Please reach us, look at us, spread the word. www.ustream.com/TV Pinoy Power Radio. And we are here still. That's right, because we love them. Banana Manna Films with Jason Lee and Christian, really? You see? If it's not one thing, it's another. All right? That's Christian Lee. That's Jason Chan. Thank you. All right. So we were definitely talking about Perfect Girl, and how, because there really wasn't the pressure of a deadline, it was more creative. It was more a process of love. It was more really letting things maybe meld a little bit more, or saute, if you wish, a little bit more than when it's something that you gotta go.
Yeah, it was certainly a passion project, and being able to step back a little bit, especially compared to what men want, or what do men want, which we had a very, very tight deadline. In fact, we had to write that and go into production within a month. When the commissioning producer said, I want to commission you guys to do a 65 by 5 minute web series. Can you start production in a month's time? We went, yeah, no problems. And then 2 weeks into the writing process, they said, can you make it into a 13 by half hour TV series? And we said, yeah, no problems, because we just wanted to do it, but and we, because of the budgets, it was budgeted for a web series, and we couldn't hire crew, really. We just couldn't afford to. So we found 5 interns and said, you've never done anything before, like you've never really made a short film before. That's okay. We're going to teach you everything, and we're going to learn everything together. Here are a bunch of cameras, here's sound, let's learn how to do this. And so we did that all with those 5 interns, and it ended up actually, a few people are asking us for that series now, and we're just waiting for actually a big channel to see if that'll pick it up, because they have interest in it. But it may be one of the first series that goes global from this region, and certainly made for our national broadcaster. So fingers crossed with that series.
That would definitely be cool. I mean, first of all, crazy and crazier.
Yes. We're very crazy.
What? That's incredible that you guys did it with like interns. That's you know, the budget, and then the time, and then let's just add some more, you know, some more episodes. That what I saw was definitely professional. So kudos. Kudos. I mean, nothing was blurry. The sound was there. There was nothing, you know, harshing it. The music was there. The camera angles were lovely. I mean, there was nothing that I'm looking at going, oh, what? No. Which you watch cable TV and sometimes that happens. You watch the local news and that happens. You're like, was nobody doing sound on that? What was going on? So I didn't have any of that harshness for What Men Want. So, and obviously not for Perfect Girl.
You know, we live in a day, an age where there's a digital revolution that's making amazing strides in technology, and especially as it applies to cameras. And we just found ourselves in this time and period where we can actually make a TV drama if we just deconstruct the whole production process and do away with the old traditional ways. It's like we live in an age where you can do many roles and do them efficiently and produce quality outcomes. So when we hired those interns, and it was actually only 4 of them, Jason said 5, but only 4 of them, we trained them during the day to our workflow, and we wrote at night. And our workflow was all based off of what we learned from building a company, shooting corporate videos using DSLR cameras. It wasn't brain surgery. We realized that what you have to do is have the right attitude and not be compartmentalized to, I'm just a camera operator, I'm just a boom sound guy. It's like, no, we all pitch together as a team, and we can break this thing down to where we can execute. And so that What Do Men Want and executing 13 by half hour, series, it's like 3.5 feature films. And that gave us the confidence to say, you know what, let's take this a step further, produce our own drama series, Perfect Girl. And this time we'll just hire one of those interns back that absolutely had the right attitude on helping us execute. And then, so each one of these is a feather in the cap to say, yes, I can do it. And so where I'm kind of going with this is, if your listeners are out there and you feel victimized by not enough opportunity, you got to kind of say, look, those Banana Man Films guys, let's not be victims anymore. We can empower ourselves. If they can do it, we can do it too. And we had our heroes like Wong Fu Productions and some of these other people out there making, like Freddie W., making fantastic content online, and they're doing it by themselves. So that's what kind of the gospel we want to spread as well, is that you can make your Korean dramas in English. Like, who's to say you can't? Like, let's just get up and do it. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but the tools are there. We live in a day and age where the tools are there, and it's cost effective.
And you know, and I love that attitude about creating your own opportunities, because, you know, I have 3 boys, and my listeners knows, I mean, they're 18, 16, and 8, you know, and in this day and age, even though, yes, we have all these miracles, and I mean, I'm speaking to you guys through a computer in Singapore, which is lovely, but there's so much, there's such an overload of information, such an overload of what am I going to do, what am I going to do, what am I going to do? When you truly find something that you love, if you can't fit yourself in somebody else's pigeonhole, create your own opportunities, create your own path, create your own way, have enough confidence in yourself, have enough love of what you really want to do to go ahead and do that. And I love that you mentioned Wong Fu Productions. I just watched recently, and it's old, but I just found it. It's called That's the Last. And it was there was no like because one of my pet peeves is environmental sound. Either it's too loud or it's too low, or there's not enough, or what's going. They completely took it out. It was music and talk and video, and I'm like, I can do that. Why am I not doing that? If they do it, why can't I? So I love that that's what you guys are promoting and empowering not just yourselves, which I love, but everyone else who listens, that this is your mantra, and moving a little bit more into a little bit more of empowering. Your first two projects, What Men Want and Perfect Girl, were much more romantic comedies. The next thing that you guys tackled was something completely different, which I love. I love that you guys didn't tell yourselves, you know what, we're pretty good with these romantic comedies. Let's do 50 more rom-coms. You guys told yourselves, no. Let's do something. Let's flip the script, and we're gonna do an action.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we had a dream, and look, our dreams are always really big and probably too big for our boots, but we have so many dreams and so many stories that we want to tell, and one of them was about, the world banking system and the elite, controlling the banking system, and what happens if a couple of bankers get sort of fired by their bank, or they take the fall for a bank, and then they go out there and they get angry, and they get enlisted into this kind of fake assassins club where they learn how to be assassins, but they're not really being assassins. They kind of shoot little stickers that make people, that just say bang bang you're dead, but they scare people enough to get them to do what they want them to do. But actually the twist is they are assassins. And somewhere down the line, they fire a gun and real bullets come out and they kill people, and they get enlisted into this sort of deeper, darker world of the elite banking system where murders do happen. We thought it was a very interesting, really topical subject, but at the same time we thought, wouldn't it be great if we could do that and weave in romance and have a dual, romance, action, suspense, thriller thing going through that. But of course, the big thing for us was, how are we going to do action? How are we going to?
That's a completely different, different writing style, different direction. Different style of acting, different camera work, different angles. I mean,
yeah.
Music. I mean, was it almost like learning it all over again?
Yeah, and we applied all those techniques that we did when we did What Do Men Want, which was, let's go to YouTube. And we sat there and. Yes, that's how we learnt everything, and we sat there with Bang Bang Club and we thought, how do we do a fight sequence? And we went to the Bourne Identity films and we broke them down. We watched them on YouTube, we watched them in slow motion, we broke down scene by, step by step. Okay, where does the camera go? Where did he punch? What was the sound? And then we went out and we did just a little take with our phones, with the two of us doing a 3 or 4, punch sequence. And then we brought in an actress who wanted to help us out. And we said, okay, let's do a slightly longer one. And we realized, we analyzed it all. We said, in Bourne Identity, the longest fight sequence is about 1.5 minutes. That's it. And 3 in a movie. So we get it down. We go, so can we do even 1 minute? Let's give ourselves the challenge of a fight sequence for 1 minute. Of course, that's still tough, but we broke it down and got used to, okay, can we do just 10 seconds? Then we did 15 seconds. Then we found, someone who was trained in the Kali martial arts, and we said, well, can we do 1 minute? We ended up doing 2 minutes, I think, in the end, which almost killed us. But we rehearsed it, and then we rehearsed camera angles. And we tried and tested, and we tested every single thing. All the rehearsals were shot, and then we bring the rehearsals in and edit the rehearsals and go, no, that camera angle doesn't work. Shift to this side. That doesn't work. This sound doesn't work. And so much is in the sound, and so much is in the camera angle. So it was great for us to sort of break it down and realize that, again, the message is everything's out there for you to learn. You just got to go out to YouTube, break it down, get all your resources together and learn it bit by bit, and it's possible, I think.
That's incredibly, because again, action sequences, they're always, they're longer in your head, but once you have all the film, they go by so quick, and sometimes you even have to slow certain things down so that the audience can actually see what happened. So I'm really glad that you guys flipped the See, now I'm even flip the script on Bang Bang Club. Actually, it got a Remy Award, didn't it? World Fest Houston International Film Fest of 2016. So congrats on that. And we're going to talk more when we come back from our sponsors. Happiness, because it is Tuesday. That's right. You're here with SashilyK, your Puertorican Princess on KPRP 650 AM. And you stream because you stream and I stream and we all Ustream because you have to Ustream. That's right. www.ustream.com/TV Pinoy Power Radio. And we are here with Christian Lee and Jason Chan. That's right, I got the names right this time. Thank you, Banana Man of Films. And we were talking about Bang Bang Club, which is a short action with a splash of romance. That's what Jason says. Which was very cool because it won the Platinum Remy Award at World Fest Houston International Film Fest this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a couple of months ago this year.
Yes. Unfortunately, we couldn't go. Actually, interestingly, I was just in Hawaii, which is why we couldn't sort of make it back out there, which is great. So, I mean, aloha. Beautiful country, beautiful islands you have there.
Yeah. It's funny because people think I am Hawaiian, and then I start speaking in Spanish, and then they get confused. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But if you're just tuning in, you've missed out on a wonderful interview here at Banana Man of Films. They have put out wonderfully K-drama English-based. That's right, K-dramas in English. Watch it. You'll love it. And they did What Men Want. They did Perfect Girl. And we were just finishing talking about Bang Bang Club, which was their action. And now soon they're going to do a new one, which I'm excited about. That's right, Jimomi Tofu. First of all, let's talk about that name, Jimomi Tofu. How did you guys come up with that?
Well, okay, Jimomi Tofu stands for peanut tofu in the Okinawan dialect. Actually, there's a lot of people from Okinawa that are in Hawaii, and there's a lot of Okinawan food, I think, in Hawaii. From the research I was doing. So how this project got off out of the blocks is Jason and I, as I think you pointed out, have to wear many hats. So not only are we actually writing the scripts and producing them, we're actually then taking off the creative hats and putting on the sales caps, producer caps, and going and attending all the film and television markets to try and get distribution and figure out that nut. And we had met the Okinawan Prefecture government at the Asian Television Forum, which is held every year. And we've learned that they have a subsidy grant, and they try to, a lot of the prefectures in Japan try and package together some grants to have people come and film in their prefecture to try and allure tourists. As you well know, Korean dramas are very good at that. They'll go shoot somewhere in Japan. Before you know it, everybody's going there just to see where they kissed. Yep, that's right. So they've brought us over for what they call a recce trip or scouting trip. And we didn't know what to expect. You know, a lot of we had some preconceived notions that it was going to be mostly military bases, but we were blown away. It wasn't. We didn't see any of that. And then the production coordinator, the fixer there, took us to experience the real Okinawan culture. It's like if someone took us and experienced the real Hawaiian traditions and cultures and got you away from all the touristy stuff. You can actually fall in love with the history, with the food and the culture. And that's when we said, let's tackle a genre where we build it all around the Okinawan dynastic traditional food of 1,000 years and build romance around that. Rather than action like Bang Bang Club, we do it around what everyone loves, which is eating and food.
I like food. And it's funny because I lived in Japan for 3 years, so I've done the
right.
walking around and look, and then my family's going, we don't know her, But I think I was on Jason's Instagram, and I saw pictures of the restaurant that you guys that's going to be featured in Jomami Tofu. So I thought that was kind of cool, a little behind the scenes kind of thing. And I like that you're going back to rom-com after the action. So that's going to be interesting to see, because it's almost not a rom-com. It's more of a mellow, isn't it? It's more of a melodrama.
Yes, it's more of a drama.
It's a drama. Yeah,
it's definitely not so comedic. Actually, it's a little bit of a tragic drama. It's about people not finding home, or being a bit lost and trying to find each other, and then it's Singapore Chinese chef and a Japanese food critic who fall in love over food, but they're not quite sure why. And they fall out of love for a long time and then try to find each other again. And they're brought back together through Okinawan food. So we're really talking about how the food actually has influences from all around the world, and particularly Southeast Asia and Japan, and China and Japan. And very, very intimate. It's beautiful.
When you went to the restaurant, did they have any featured or any house specials, things that they would want to share?
Yeah, there are some specialties I think that everyone wants to share. So, but even when we were in Okinawa, there are certain things that we thought, Jomami tofu was one of them. That's very special. That's very unique to Okinawa. And we sort of liked the title too, because it's just cute. And they said, we asked, what is this? It's peanut tofu. What is that? It's cute, but and it's of course delicious, and it's a great texture. It's really sort of kind of slightly gooey tofu, but and a slight hint of peanuts, but it's an amazing texture. So again, we just thought, this is great. This film is about a little girl who grows up without a father and wants to find home in her father. And she does that through a relationship and through the food. And so we thought, what better way than to use a dish, which is something that she remembers from a long time ago, to bring her back home.
To connect, to connect, because that's when we lose a lot of our culture, the last thing that goes is food. That's the very last thing that goes. I remember what my grandmother would cook for me, what my aunties, you can lose the language, you can lose a lot of the customs, but the food is such an integral part of every day that's a lovely way to connect a story. We were talking earlier in the interview about all of the callbacks that you guys have been inundated with, which is lovely, of course, that you got such a humongous response. Have you guys kind of narrowed down your roles, because you guys have a promo or something coming up, right?
That's right. We're shooting our promo in just over 10 days time. We should be in Okinawa shooting a promo. So we had to make a decision. Look, it wasn't hard. We found 3 really, really strong actors. One from LA, or based in LA, one based in Tokyo, one based in Sydney, who are our main cast, and we're flying them into Okinawa to shoot a promo first, to sort of continue to, we need to continue to raise funds and interest for this film. But they're really fantastic. Japanese nationals, but now living overseas, and just solid actors. So, when we had to call other people, it was a hard decision, because we found so many great actors. And by the way, quite a few from Hawaii who, so thank you for the shout out, and thank you for letting people know. And there were a few from Hawaii who were really, really strong, and people that we hope to work with either in the actual film at the end of the year, or in a future project. So thank you once again. And we were blown away by the response, and the fact that, I guess, they really fell in love with the story, and that was the best part. They were really, really willing to. I think
when you're an actor, and I'm sure you guys, because you guys are actors, when you can see the final product of what a company can accomplish, and then they have a story that you fall in love with, it's not a very hard decision to go, me, please, please. It really is. And you guys are doing it. You guys are truly doing it, and that's cool. I'm really excited because I want to see how because like I said, you guys done the rom-coms, then you did the action with Bang Bang. So to see you guys touch, and again, I'm sure there's going to be some. Because I mean, how you guys write, there's always some sort of humor in the pain.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be something. What is it? The greatest comedians are always the greatest of right. So I'm sure there's something in there that's going to be funny. But to see another layer or another shadow in your writing, and then in your storytelling, and then in your cinematography, I'm greatly looking forward to Jimami Tofu. I really am.
Thank you so much.
That's great. Well, we're really excited about this project because, once again, I think what keeps us motivated is just trying to up the game one more step for ourselves. So this one, we're like shooting it in a foreign place, stepping up. We're using an international cast that, I mean, it's all these things. Like when we first tackled, it's like, how are we going to write a story about dynastic Okinawan food? And then we finally write the story, and then it's like, how are we going to find actors that are fluent in English but can speak Japanese because they're going to have to be able to go in both languages? And then it's like, okay, next thing you know, we've got our cast, and they're wonderful. Now the next thing is to go, okay, how are we going to go over there and do a promo in 7 days and get it out? And then, but you just take it step by step. So anybody out there listening thinking it's so overwhelming, we also thought that too, but you just take those first steps, and next thing you know, you're past that entryway and going to the next door. So, for all it's worth,
it's exciting and it's inspirational, because that's exactly what I tell my kids. You need to have a long-term goal, yes, but you need to see the goal that's in front of you first. Because if you can't, you gotta tackle that one problem before you can tackle the next one. As long as it's a path leading you to that final goal, then even if you have a couple of setbacks, because of course, as we all know, there's no setbacks on sets. None. Everything.
No, it goes so smoothly.
Always. We always have the right lights and the right lenses and the music and everything. Always. So I mean, there's so much prep to go even before you get on set.
Yes. Well, actually, I'll just add. Today we had a major setback today, and we woke up to some news of someone not coming on board for whatever reason, and funding not going through for whatever reason. And we woke up, and my wife, who's the producer also for us, said, "Why do you do this? Why do we do this?" And we sat there for a moment, and I called Christian, and I said, why are we doing this? And we often have to remind ourselves, because it's so hard, that, well, at the end of the day, like you said, we do it because we love it, and we would pay to do it. In fact, we are paying to do this, and we pay to do Perfect Girl. But what it means to us.
But at the end of it, regardless of how much money and time you have a product, and you're doing something that you so love, that, I mean, would any of us really trade it?
No.
None of us would. So please check out Banana Mana Films, Jason Chan and Christian Lee, upcoming Jimami Tofu, because you gotta watch it, because I said so, because I'm SashilyK, Puertorican Princess here on KPRP 650 AM. Tune in next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock. See you later. Listen to your Puerto Rican Princess SashilyK for all things K-pop and K-drama and what's new and happening all around Oahu. Tune into my show From One Native to Another, Tuesday nights at 8 on KPRP Pinoy Power 650 AM.